Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. We are here to talk summer reboot, and thank you so much for joining me. I want to just do a little bit of housekeeping and I don't want to jump right in. I want to kind of get us all settled in. Let me do a little final touch there. It's a summer reboot, and this is 2020. We had a fantastic summer reboot last year, and so it's kind of something that we'll continue to do and always evolve. And of course, we had to really evolve it this year. And so I think you're going to be super excited because of the fact that this has been a crazy year for everyone. What I've added at the end of the summer reboot is this: content calendars for 3 months. So that's going to be something that's going to come in very handy. It's not normally anything that I would ever do in a free, no cost workshop like this, but we're all doing what we can to help businesses and morale in this crazy time that we're living in. So how's everybody doing? Hi from Texas. Awesome. Hello. What to expect for the next 3 days, 1 hour per morning. We are going to do some work. So be ready to roll up your sleeves and also be ready to have questions or ask your questions. This is going to be a time for you to reboot. And being in this industry, I know that sometimes marketing gets complicated in businesses. I see it from the tiniest micro business to very successful and large corporations. No one is exempt from needing to reboot. And that's why, of course, this is a perfect time to do so. I know, excuse me. There's always a million reasons why it's not a good time to do something. I find that in my own life. And at one point, we have to say, no, enough is enough. And if it's time to make a change, if you know something needs to make a change, thank you. If you know something you need to make a change, then it's time to do it. And so we want to help guide you through that. For some of you, this might not be a reboot. This might be a boot. This might be the first time that you're really focusing on your marketing. Consider this your marketing hour, your marketing strategy, because everything that you will do for the next 3 days is absolutely going to benefit your company. And when else are you carving out time to do this? And actually, before I go on, whether you're watching on Facebook, Instagram, actually, you wouldn't be watching on Instagram live right this minute, but whether you are later or on Twitter or on YouTube, inside the show notes, there is a link so you can get your workbook. So you might work in your workbook on paper and you might want to print it out. It is 8 pages. Or you might use your iPad. It all depends how you like to work, but definitely get it. Or you might do it on your computer, or you might do it on a piece of paper. That's fine too. That's it. I want to kick off this summer reboot with a question. Are you an expert in your field? Are you an expert in your field? And you don't have to write it in the comments if you don't want to, but you can also just write that just anywhere because it's not on the worksheet. If the answer to your question is yes, or maybe it's yeah, I think I am. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm pretty good. Yes, I am an expert in my field. First thing we have to do is we have to own it. You need to own your place in your industry, the work that you've done to create what you've created in your business and in your life, in your profession. Because the first thing, yes, awesome. Because marketing is already a challenge because of time and resources. Now I'm talking to small businesses where the owner of the company may be the marketing person. Okay. Or maybe it's a small business with 4 employees and one of them wears the hat of customer service, marketing, and office manager. Marketing is a hat of its own. So it's already a challenge in a small business. It's going to be an even bigger challenge if you, the owner or the expert, can't say it out loud that you're the expert. Because a lot of what we're going to talk about is not necessarily saying how awesome you are over and over. Because if you've done any of my trainings, you know that's not the way I roll. That's not the way that I, advise people to roll. But you do have to own it. So you own it. Excellent. You are the expert in your field. So we are now on page 2 here. Well, let me walk you through this here. So it's summertime and we are having a vastly different summer than we ever have, right? Or maybe some people have this kind of a summer where they stay home and not go anywhere, which is nice. Could be nice. Summer to me means family. It means going to Disneyland. It means going to the beach. Just being with family and having that time. And so that has been taken away from us, right? But I'm not giving up on summer. I am dressed like I'm in summer. And I'm having the summer reboot because it's in the middle of the year. And we are going to have fun, okay? And I hope, and I've seen a lot of people on Facebook going camping and doing all sorts of awesome things. And so as long as we're doing what we can safely and we feel comfortable, then awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm very happy to hear that. So visibility, credibility, likability. Of course, you heard me say this over and over, and that's okay because it needs to like be a part of who we are. Everything that we're doing in our marketing is increasing our visibility, our credibility, and our likability. A company or a consumer could definitely see your Facebook ads, definitely see your social media posts or your billboards on the side of the highway because you have great visibility. If they go on to Google or Yelp and they search for reviews to see your credibility and they find 1-star reviews because of a lack of quality control or customer service or whatever, then that hurts your credibility. So all of this is all connected. And then your likability and your credibility also come out in your social media, your blogging, your email marketing, and it should be something that's in the forefront in your marketing to also build relationships. Your marketing is about building relationships, okay? And we're going to dive into that. The first thing I'd like us to ask ourselves, okay? Well, the first thing I already asked you was, are you the expert? And yes, you are the expert in your field. B, do people know that you are the expert in your field? And I guess that's kind of a weird question because, of course, some people must know. Do you feel that you have an adequate representation online that you are the expert in your field? That's the next question that you should be asking yourself. And just kind of mull that over. But on this first page here, no. Okay. So we have we have a brave person who said, no, they don't feel that that's the way it is. Well, I will tell you that that's where a lot of people are. So you're not alone. And we're going to move that. We're going to move that needle. So that's exciting. This is the first step. Okay. So in this box, I want you to write what's working. What's working in your marketing and in your business. If nothing's working in your marketing and you can't think of a thing, please write something down that is working in your business. And I am going to do the same thing. So I would say I have an awesome team that's working really well. I would say what's working, our programs are working. And you might be saying, well, what do you mean by working? So working would mean that they're moving you forward as a company. So they are either producing leads, generating sales, your engagement is growing. So what's working? What's working? Our tech is working. We have really great tech. And I'll share a little bit about tech and I'll tell you the tools that I love. Because when you learn from me, you know you get all my tips and tricks. So what's working? What's working? All right. Next column. What's not working? What's not working in your business, in your marketing? Is it consistency? Is it messaging? Is it branding? Is it a lack of time or focus? Is it a lack of guidance and direction? Am I hitting any nails on the head? What's not working? I'll tell you what I found in my 2019 research. And that was that business owners struggled with digital marketing because they didn't know where to start, they didn't know what to say, and they didn't have any time. And so that's just like a ripple effect of issues. So what's not working? Okay, great. And I have my little quote here from KB Marketing Agency that says, ignoring online marketing is like opening a business but not telling anyone. Right? Or we just expect people to come to us. It doesn't work that way. And I also heard someone say the other day that social media was noisy. And that meant that they didn't want to play there because it was noisy. But that's like saying, well, the mall is too crowded. There's too many people there. There's too many stores. I don't want to be there. But if I was a retailer, I would love to be at the mall because that's where everyone is. I need to make sure that my appearance, my curb appeal was awesome. So people wanted to come in. That my little stand, my little, the little triangle stand that they have outside, what's that called? Is up and has a cute saying on it. And I have someone on my team that can do really nice chalkboard writing. Like, we don't play places because it's oversaturated in marketing. I'm sure in some instances I might disagree with myself, but in the instance of social media, you don't back away because there's too many people there. You actually need to be present. And what we do is you don't need to try and tackle everything and everyone. You just need to focus in on those people who are your target market, who really are going to love your product and your service. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about visibility. So visibility. Visibility is your website, your blog, your podcast, social media. How are people finding you? Your Google business page, your Yelp review page. That is the visibility. How are people seeing you? How are they coming into contact with you? Under this column, I'd like you to write out your visibility, how you are expecting people to find you right now as a company. Under this column, you might even say referrals, which is great. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And I'm actually going to write that because that is part of our Socialize LA visibility. That's referrals, people sending people they know to us. And that might be a big part of your business because it's a very popular way that small businesses interact and grow is through referrals. But then how do people know about you to refer you? So is it networking, in-person networking? Visibility. How are we giving our business visibility? You and I can work all day long, all night long, and I have, and work on some amazing programming and worksheets, and we can be so amazing at what we do and have a heart of gold and want to support and solve people's problems. And at the end of the day, we're frustrated because why are we not being hired? Why is my phone not ringing? Why are the wrong people reaching out to me? And a lot of that has to do with our visibility because people don't know that you're open. There could be someone sitting right, in the office next to you having a issue and you're the person to solve it and they don't know that. Okay? Credibility. How are you building your credibility right now? How are you building your credibility? And as I'm talking and you're hearing ideas, write those down as your next steps, as something that you can do later. Credibility. So how about, are you producing a blog? Are you producing a podcast? Are you producing Facebook Lives? Are you speaking? Obviously, we're all speaking virtually, but are you speaking? Are you writing guest columns in a publication? Are you producing social media content? What's awesome that is in 2020, and it has been like this for some time, you, the expert in your field, can really help show your audience that you are the expert in your field. In one time in history, businesses would need to be published in a book or in a publication, in an industry publication or the newspaper to be deemed super credible. But now, if you are putting out quality content on topics that matter to your industry and to your people, to your audience, well, now you're credible. So this is a tool that we really need to grab by the horns and get on. So credibility. If you are a person right now who's saying, I do a little bit of social media for my credibility and my visibility, and that's about it, I would ask you right now to commit to doing one blog per month. One blog per month. And we just got a comment from Farron that said geography is no longer a barrier to reach a widespread audience. If you don't know Farron shows up with me here on our coffee talks. Very similar to the format that I'm doing right now for Summer Reboot. And Farron is an amazing marketer, and she's part of the Socialize LA strategy team, and she helps support the Flex Your Influence community, which is our membership. And so maybe she'll make an appearance, Summer Reboot, but here she is reminding us that geography is no longer a barrier. So if there was a moment where you wanted to expand your audience, but maybe you're not traveling or you can't travel, now is a really great time to showcase your work and everything that you're doing to that greater audience. I know that speaking is a very good way to build credibility and visibility. I know so many people who have built their business just on their speaking engagements, their live speaking engagements. And so when something like this happens, like what we're facing now, I know a lot of people who had much of their sales generators completely taken away. And a lot of the organizations that were going to be hosting them as a speaker had not yet pivoted to virtual events. So, I mean, some people really, really, really stepped up to the plate, and then others have taken a really long time. I've still seen some people wanting to do in-person events, and that's just not gonna fly. So anyway, use this to your advantage. So can we agree that we are going to do one blog per month? And if you're already blogging, you might be saying, Margaret, I'm blogging once a week. Give me something more. If you're blogging once per month, are you going live? Are you creating any videos? And here's a really good tip, okay? Now, if you have this book, then you already know this tip. This is our Flex Your Influence Master Planner. Take that blog topic that you are already doing once per month or once per week and take that content and now go live and talk about it. Some people want to consume information via text. Some would like to consume information via video. Make sure that you're on both. But you don't have to rethink, you don't have to rethink what should I talk about? Already have that lined out. Like this month, this theme is this. Here's my blogs, and so on and so forth. So that I got a little bit off track, but your credibility is very connected to consistency. Okay, when we're inconsistent and we don't really show up very often, then it's not going to help our credibility very much, our likability. So how are we showing up so people can say, oh, I want to work with that person, or, oh gosh, like keep me away. Like do not connect with me on LinkedIn. Oh my gosh. How many times do we connect with people on LinkedIn and they immediately send us this like 10 paragraph sales pitch? I'm like, does this work for you anywhere? I mean, is this actually working for you? That is not the strategies that I teach, that our team teaches. We're all about likability and relationship building. Because one thing that never changes in business, people do business with who? People do business that they know, like, and trust. Visibility, credibility, likability, right there. So your likability comes out through your writing, through your social media posts, through your blogs, definitely through video. So when you're showing up on video, people can see you, they can talk to you, they can hear your voice, they can it's just a really good way to connect. And now is the time. Before everything happened, I never would go live from my home office. Like my home office it's my cave. This is my space. I have never once thought anybody else would step foot in this place. So I have all my personalities accounted for all over my walls. There is just no rhyme or reason, but I just wanted a space that was me, that I loved. Never would I have shown this. But now it's like, I have no choice. I have no choice but to show everybody who I am. But that's what I'm saying. It's like likability. I mean, I don't mind if people see how I live because I've seen some amazing home offices. It's like beautiful. It's, it's chic. And at home, I don't do chic. At home, I do like chill. So, anyway, I'm digressing again. See, this is the bad thing about Facebook Lives is that you get so comfortable and I just feel like I'm connecting with you and I go off on tangents. And that's a lot what a conversation with me will sound like as well. So, likability. What are you doing to build your likability? I'll tell you one really main point. Your social media posts. If you are posting 4 times a week, let's say, 5 times a week, if every single one of those posts is, come to my event, buy this, purchase my program, sign up for my program, that gets really annoying really fast. Because although digital marketing is a very great space for commerce, it is not your personal billboard. And people do not appreciate that. There's so many people online because they're not just there to buy something. They're there to learn something. They're there to be entertained. They are there to build relationships sometimes, to talk to like-minded people. Sometimes there are things that happen in my life where I might first go to one of the Facebook groups that I'm really engaged with, and I will tell them good news first. I'm not even kidding you. Why? Because those groups are with me almost every day. I spend some time in them. And I hear, their tips and their tricks. Sometimes it's about business. Sometimes it's personal stuff. And so they've been such a big part of something that's happened to me that I want to share it with them so I can inspire someone else. And it's actually really cool when people can see you as that person. I know that that's what we're building with Socialize LA. We have some amazing relationships with not only our clients and not only our Flex Your Influence members, but with people that trust us, that come to these events that we host periodically, who are part of our free Facebook group, Modern Marketing Support Group. We build relationships. That's what we care about. And it's never my goal to say, well, if you didn't buy this or you didn't join this, then, we can't be friends. That's not the way I operate. And you might even hear me if we are ever in a sales call or you're on the fence about joining our membership. You might hear me say, how can we earn your trust? How can we earn your business? Because I just want all barriers down, all transparent. That's it. Why? Because it helps with communication and expectation problems. Like, that's all about that. So, we don't try to be, something we're not, but likability is really important. And things that can kill likability are bad customer service, polarizing content, and really salesy, pushy content, spam. All of that can impact your likability. Okay. And if you have done that, if you have been any of those things, we can all come back from that. Okay. Well, I shouldn't say all and come back from everything, but if I'm talking to small business owners, then I'm sure there's a way that we can do some PR to help you to gain the trust of people. Because I'll tell you what, we've been in business for 11 years. And yeah, we have a great team now. I mean, I was just in our Slack channel and I wrote to the team, I said, I just finished a project that I've been wanting to do for a year. And I was able to do it because of the team. The team is doing everything they need to be doing. So I don't have to have my hands on it. But let's say 7 years ago when it was mainly just me, you don't think I dropped a ball or two? Oh my gosh. But it's what we do with it. We got to pick up. Maybe we have to apologize. Maybe we have to make right and go on and then learn. So that's that. Visibility, credibility, likability. And for those of us who are just popping on now, I want you to know that these videos will be up through the weekend. And the worksheet that we're looking at is inside of the show notes. You just download that. It's completely free. And just work through these exercises that we're working through. Okay. All right. So are we ready to roll up our sleeves? We talked about what's working, what's not working, what visibility, credibility, and likability should look like. And now we are going to get into some actual work directly into your business. So tell me this. Okay. So this worksheet, so now I have to be transparent since that's what I just told you that I am. So remember when I had COVID and I thought, oh, because if you've had it, you know that it just knocks you on your butt. But like 2 weeks into it, I was missing work. I was like feeling like I wasn't doing stuff and it was just crazy. And so I thought in that 3rd week of having it, I'd be better because when I get sick with the flu, I'm like good in 2 days. And so I'm like, this shouldn't linger anymore. So I had intended on having this summer reboot in July. So that's why this initiative says July. So now I'm going to need you to work with me here. And this is actually going to be September, just September. And then we'll do October, November, or September, October in this top part. September and October. What are your initiatives for September and October? Now, when I say initiatives, are you launching anything? Do you want to launch something? What do I mean by launch? Like maybe it's not a brand new product. Maybe it's a product that has just been sitting there. Do you have a service or a product that you're like, why don't I get more visibility to it? Why aren't more people signing up for my discovery session or for my assessment or for my one-on-one program? Ask yourself these questions. And if you're like, I don't have any initiatives, just write them in here. Let's create them now. So in September, your initiative could be getting like an initiative to me is like, what's your goal? Like, what's a goal? Like, what do you want to focus on? I want to focus on, program X or product X. And then when you have an initiative, then you can work backwards from it. And then you'll give it a little more attention than you will everything else. So you might talk about it more in your social media. You might talk about it more in email marketing, and you might do a special blog on it and a Facebook Live. That's what your initiatives are. So write down a couple of initiatives. And I'm going to put that into the, no, I can't, I don't think. Initiatives. September to October. Your initiatives might also be something that you've always wanted to do. So have you always wanted to launch a podcast? Have you always wanted to launch an online program or an online course? Put that in there. Okay, that's on the right-hand side. Anybody want to share theirs? No? Yes? You're more than welcome to privately message as well. Okay, and your initiatives for November and December. What are your initiatives? Where do you want to focus your marketing efforts? This is really, really, really important because can I just forward you really quick? So in September, I'm going to play with a real live. Okay, someone said, I need to do some quick little Facebook Live trainings. Oh, great. You want to do them for people or you need to get Facebook Live trainings? I'll wait for the answer. With your initiatives, here you have September. So if I said September, my initiative is we are doing an open enrollment. So I'm going to write that here. Open enrollment for the Flex Your Influence community. Remember, that's our membership. Okay, do them. Great. Okay, so I'll get to you in just a second. So my main initiative in September is that. Oh my gosh. My throat keeps getting really dry. Okay, that is happening the first week of September. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put open enrollment on my calendar. So here I go. That's like number one initiative. And then I also know, see, I like to put the events that I'm going to be attending as well, because our hashtag is hashtag Flex Your Influence. Whenever I am a part of any event, I like to support them with marketing. And so I like to make sure it's on my calendar. So in week 3, we have the hashtag NABO WBC conference. And Socialize LA is going to have a booth. We are going to have our hands full that week. So we have a lot of planning. So as far as my initiatives go, that's it. That's the only 2 things that I'm focusing on in September. Open enrollment, which is the first week. And then the third week is the NABO conference, where we have a booth. So we're not going to talk about how we're going to work backwards right now, but I just wanted to give you that little nugget. So, okay, for yourself, you need to do Facebook Live trainings. So in your initiatives for September, October, November, December, maybe you want to have a continual Facebook Live. So commit now to saying my initiative is to do Facebook Live trainings. That is what I want to do, especially if it's been something that you haven't been able to do. And then what we're going to do is, what I'd like you to do is just put a 2x. So that way you commit to 2 per month, 1 every other week. And I'm going to challenge you, or to inspire you, or to motivate you, that maybe one day you'll get to a place where you'll actually do them once a week or more than once a week. If that's part of your business plan, if that's working. Because right now, going live is extremely important to building your brand awareness. So that's great. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. I really appreciate that. Okay. So let me go to, let's go over to this side of questions, because these are very important. Okay. These are more like operational. Who are the team members or vendors involved in getting these initiatives completed? Who are the team members, vendors that are involved in completing these initiatives? Is it yourself? Great. A vendor might even be a technology. So sometimes people ask me what I use here to go live. I use StreamYard, and I love it. I can go live on like all my platforms. Awesome. Yay. You're in the right place. That's why you're here. Awesome. Okay. So StreamYard to go live. Maybe it's not a vendor, but it's a technology. So what do you need? See, the reason I'm asking you these questions is because during a workshop like this, we can talk about initiatives and like, yeah, we're going to go live, and yeah, we're going to do open enrollment. But if we don't set out the path and the plan to get it done, the first hiccup, the first challenge, the first mountain that we come across, we're going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm done. So Next question is, how much time will you commit weekly? How much time will you commit weekly to getting this done, to working on your initiatives? And if you only have one initiative, if your initiative is to go live on Facebook twice per month, you could possibly also add in turning those Facebook lives into blogs on your website. So that's like a little bit more work, but now you have activity on your website. Like I can take this video at the end of the day, at the end of my Facebook Live. Let's say I'm going live strictly on Facebook. I'm on StreamYard, but let's say I'm on Facebook doing what I'm doing. I can download that video, take that video, put it on YouTube, take that YouTube embed form, embed code, and add that as a blog to my website. And there you are making the most of the content that you're so proud of that you did on Facebook Live. And now people who may not be on Facebook or might not see you on Facebook, because yes, Facebook is noisy. I'm not going to say that it's not. But now they have more opportunities to see that awesome content. And guess what? You can also send it as an email to say, hey, everyone, just want to let you know that we have a new training on our website. And you can actually catch us live next week on Tuesday at 7 p.m. You see how that works? Does that help you? Does that help anyone, like this flow? Let's get unstuck today. Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Farron, one of our Socialize LA advisors, says, take the time to proactively remove barriers to marketing initiatives during the planning phase. It saves critical time when it comes to execution. It's like meal prep. You know, we meal prep so that way we don't have to even think about food. I love it. Yes, exactly. And that's what we're doing today. So 2 more questions. What challenges do you foresee stopping you? Ooh, that goes right along with what Farron said. What challenges do you foresee stopping you? Is it time? Is it focus? Is it motivation? Is it guidance? There's nothing wrong with needing extra guidance or just someone to bounce an idea off of. I have myself implanted in NABO, into the Latina Women Business Association of Los Angeles, and then at least 4 social media groups. Because I want motivation. We all need it. Focus and motivation, absolutely. So that's going to be your challenge. That's awesome that you're recognizing that. So the thing with focus is that it is all 100% in our corner. Now, if you have little ones running around or people that really depend on you, like finding a time to say, hey, I just need this time to work on something, and then I'm all yours. If it's just you, like feeling distracted, I'll tell you that at the beginning of this year, I was really concerned with how much TV I was watching. It's very embarrassing to say, but I was watching more TV than I care to even tell you, because I would always have it up while I was working. And it's not, I thought, oh, I'm multitasking. No, I wasn't. It was bad. So I had to just cut it out. And now I only watch TV at night, maybe like an hour. I know. It's sad. But one thing that I love to do, who was I telling this to yesterday? Maybe it might have been the Flex Your Influence members. But I said, you have to get into your planner, your schedule, your Google Calendar, your Outlook calendar, whatever you use, and block out time that says marketing. And it's almost like you are having a meeting with yourself, and treat it that way. And it's non-negotiable. It's like if you were having a client meeting with your most important client, and nothing is going to stop you from being there, because it's that important. So do that, okay? Schedule that time in. And then motivation, motivation, there's so many different sciences on motivation, and this is what I have found to be very true for me. I get inspired and motivated when I'm, with a crowd of people at like an awesome conference, or, you're watching a program that just has like a really motivational story, or I do get that. But you know what they say? It's like motivation is like that feeling that gets you started. Hold on. What's that quote? Motivation gets you going, and habit gets you there. I guess that's the quote. And habit gets you like to the finish line. But what I would say is I love constant motivation, but I have found ways to motivate myself. So I motivate myself by having like all the things I love around me. Everybody's motivations are so different though. So this is like a whole exercise in itself. But this is important, and I'm glad it's come up, because staying motivated to do it is going to be one of the biggest challenges for a lot of people. And so for me, like I said, surrounding myself with items and things that I love. I work in an area that inspires me. I have things by my side that are like the cutest things that I love so much. And these types of things inspire me. I know that sounds crazy, but they do. And I'm like, okay, I like to work because So that motivates me. Getting out of the house motivates me, obviously safely, and respectfully. But I like to, if you ever heard me speak about the workplace, I'm typing that into the notes. It's hashtag WORK uppercase PLAYCE workplace. I love to just move around and be outside, or even sometimes I work in my car. I'll sit in my car somewhere and just work. And that was even before all of this happened. So finding what helps you, finding what motivates you and drives you. What's your why? My guiding principles of my life, which I figured out in a program I did through the Dr. Yasmin David's Institute. I found out what moves me, what drives me, what's my why. And that was faith, family, and personal development. And so I am constantly aligning what I'm doing with that. Notice that in my top 3, it doesn't say workaholic, but yet if you know me, you know how much this company means to me and how much I love to work and how much I love to serve. But at the end of the day, what I do fuels my why. So focus and motivation, you've got this. Find out what really motivates you. And also don't worry about going gung-ho for 1 week and then stopping. Like, I'm really big on like giving yourselves little bits to do. Okay. And Sylvia said, thanks for reminding me. I have to redecorate my new office. Yay. Then I may be more excited about my new space. Absolutely. It's like, and I have this nice little room that I get to call my own. And so I'm very grateful for that. But, some of us only have like a little corner or a desk, but still make it your own and it's yours. So that's awesome, Sylvia. That's great. Okay. So let's move on to the last question. Are you ready? So we've talked about all this cool stuff. Are you ready to take action? Are you ready to commit to it? Are you ready to commit to not only this week creating a calendar, which we'll do on Friday, all of the stuff that we're working on will end up going on these calendars. Are you ready to go from calendar to content to being consistent? And that's something you have to ask yourself. Again, I don't know where I was saying all this stuff yesterday, but I was just talking to someone about people need to be ready to get into their marketing. I am not going to ever push someone into getting to that space. Now, I will tell you, just like I'm doing on this video, how important it is. If you are a speaker, an author, a business owner, a brand, an influencer, it is super important that you are visible and credible and likable. You have to play in this space in 2020. You have to. But Margaret, I get referrals. My website is from 1998 and I'm still getting referrals. And that's awesome. If that is you, then that is awesome. But I would challenge you to say, what are you leaving on the table because you don't have a presence? And then it's like, why am I shouting it from the rooftops? Because it's my business and I profit from people wanting to take this step? Absolutely not. It's because I know that this works and this helps sustain a business. Let me tell you a little story. When everything started happening in the world, a lot of people were negatively impacted. And I'll tell you that Socialize LA, of course, our personal worlds were rocked, but things have only been on the upswing here because we did not have to revive anything. We didn't have to revive our social media. We didn't have to learn how to do virtual events. We're already doing all of that. And I'm not saying that to say like, see, like, aren't we so great? But we understand the power of it. And because we had placed ourselves in the marketplace in a way that was already virtual and we had all these tools, all we did was excel during this time. And I know that there was a couple people that I know definitely, and I'm sure there was a lot of multiple people and brands that were able to pivot super quickly. But then there's been a lot that have not. I've had people call me to say, well, what do I do? How do I need to build an e-commerce site? And it's like, oh my gosh, like we've been talking about that for years and you never wanted to do it. And now you want to do it. And that's awesome. And we're going to help you. But this isn't something that you build overnight. You can't build an actual solid following overnight. It is something that you build on. Now, is it too late? Absolutely not. You start now. You keep going. But that's just the way it goes. Like, this is what is going to sustain us. We are going to be virtual for a bit. And after that, people are starting to see like, wow, there's value in meeting with my business coach virtually. And I'm sure there's already, hundreds of thousands of coaches that already do that. But anyway, it's to say that you've got to be here. And if you're listening to this, you kind of already know that you need to be here. But if you're thinking about starting a business, because I do see some names on my list that I know that you've wanted to start a business, you've thought about it, or you want to write a book, there you can start with a blog, a personal blog, and you can write on the topics that you know that you are the expert in, that you are going to continue your professional life in, and start writing on that, because that's only building your credibility. We actually just hired someone and we will be introducing her, Teresa, pretty soon. But she's a fashion influencer, and she kind of slowed down on that as she was trying to find her career. And I'm encouraging her to continue down that path. Even though she's now, she's going to be in marketing, and we do mainly, we're business to business to consumer marketing. she still has a lot to lend there. And I want her to continue building her personal brand. So if you're building on your personal brand, it's just as important. And you can follow these steps. So we have a few more minutes here. If you have any questions, you are more than welcome to post them here in the comments. I also want to give you the link to, some of you might be listening in the Modern Marketing Support Group, but for those of you who are listening on Instagram, YouTube, my personal Facebook, and everywhere else that we are, I want to give you the link to our free Facebook group. So if you have any questions, you can place them there after this is over. Okay. So yes, it's been awesome to be here with you. I enjoy your company. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy speaking to you, and we will be back here tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. And tomorrow we will be discussing the path to taking action. And we are going to write out exactly what we're going to commit to every month. Okay. So we're going to make this plan. And by the end of our session on Friday, you are going to have a plan for September, October, and November. Now, can I also give you some advice if you want some homework? Take your initiatives worksheet. That was like the page 1. These really need page numbers. Okay, so now I'm learning that. It might have been page 2. But anyway, it's this page. Write down your initiatives for September, October, November, December. So that way you're ready. You're ready to do that on your calendar. Okay? So I think that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. And I'm super excited for you and the changes that you're going to make in your marketing. And we will talk soon. Bye.